Coming up in SVG-TV News and Sports this evening at 7, Prime Minister Friday calls for greater development financing and climate resilience support at opening of CDB's 56th annual meeting. Trinidad and Tobago wins a UN Security Council seat with overwhelming support. South Africa faces unrest as residents demand jobs and migrants feel unsafe. And in sports, SVG Cycling Union celebrates World Bicycle Day 2026. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV News and Sports this evening at 7.
Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV's News and Sports for Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. I'm Priska Campbell with the details. Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday is calling for increased development financing that is adaptive and concessional from development partners such as the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB. Speaking on behalf of the borrowing member countries at today's opening ceremony of the CDB's 56th annual meeting in the Bahamas, Prime Minister Friday highlighted the economic and climate-related challenges facing the region, including high debt burdens, tightening global financial conditions, and severe climate shocks. He emphasized the urgent need for continued support to address these issues.
At a time when the region requires an estimated $14 billion annually for comprehensive climate response, it mobilizes less than 10% of that amount. It is therefore imperative that our development partners become more adaptive, more responsive, and willing to provide highly concessional financing and dedicated resources for loss and damage that will not worsen a bad debt situation. We acknowledge that the Caribbean Development Bank is an indispensable partner in the project of regional economic transformation promised upon regional integration. However, regional economic integration is sustainable only if partners all derive benefit from it and economic disparities among member countries do not grow too wide. The bank is uniquely positioned to promote that end.
Prime Minister Friday said the CDB has played a critical role in supporting Caribbean countries through the implementation of major development projects, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines. However, he stressed that the bank's role in driving regional economic transformation must remain steadfast.
The CDB is the only multilateral development bank whose core constituents and owners are the Caribbean people. Through decades of working directly in this space, the bank has developed a wealth of experience, talent, and invaluable knowledge about our countries and region. The bank has become indispensable to our development. Consequently, the CDB is well placed to speak credibly and in a focused manner for its Caribbean constituents and to be in the lead in designing solutions tailored to the needs of our economically and climate vulnerable small open economies. A striking demonstration of this transformative impact is observed in my own country in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which after decades of repeated severe shocks have seen efforts on the part of our country and the bank to develop resilient infrastructure.
The Prime Minister also expressed satisfaction with the National Insurance Scheme and its governing body, noting their continued contribution to national development and social protection.
To safeguard Caribbean futures, the borrowing member countries call for greater collaboration in building resilience in a comprehensive way, spanning environmental, economic, and social dimensions. This comprehensive resilience framework must guide the bank's operational priorities in the years ahead. The Caribbean has entered the 2026 hurricane season, still nursing severe wounds inflicted by Hurricane Beryl in 2024 and Melissa in 2025. We are familiar with the enormous economic toll those extreme weather events extracted, and therefore must respond effectively.
Prime Minister Friday further called for comprehensive resilience frameworks, greater economic diversification, and stronger social protection systems across the region. He also highlighted the importance of preparedness for the 2026 hurricane season and the need for effective response mechanisms. The Prime Minister used the opportunity to reaffirm the commitment of the borrowing member countries to working closely with the CDB to advance sustainable development, strengthen resilience, and improve the quality of life for people across the Caribbean. Opposition leader Dr. Afghan Saab says the recent increase in fuel prices is the result of what he described as delays by the government in addressing the issue. Speaking on Star Radio this morning, Dr. Gonsalves argued that the latest adjustment represents an unusually large increase, stating that he cannot recall a fuel price hike of such magnitude being implemented at a single time. He contended that the increase has placed additional pressure on Vincentians who are already grappling with rising living costs.
Friday's tardiness, his government's tardiness, made a jump in diesel and gas prices cruel and unacceptable. There has never been an increase at one time so large, $3.70 a gallon for diesel, $3.70 a gallon for gasoline, and $3.47 for the low sulfur diesel a gallon. At one time. Before these increases, the price for gasoline was $13.22. I have it at $16.92 today. That's an increase of approximately 28%. Diesel per gallon was $12.56, $16.26. That is over 29%.
According to Dr. Gonsalves, the scale of the increase has pushed many citizens to what he described as a breaking point, as higher fuel costs are expected to have a ripple effect on transportation, the cost of goods, and other essential services.
Because he has acted late, these increased prices, he'll have to hold them longer. Even when other prices are falling in other places, if this Middle Eastern conflict comes to an end and things go back to normal, he's going to want to recoup money. And you hold it longer because he had waited for so long to do anything.
The opposition leader further suggested that because action was not taken sooner, the higher fuel prices may need to remain in place for a longer period to allow the relevant authorities to recover the necessary revenue. He argued that earlier intervention could have helped lessen the impact on consumers. Deputy Director of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, Kenson Studdard, says the organization is well prepared for the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. However, he is also warning citizens to prepare for the dry spell that is forecast during the season. Speaking on radio yesterday, Studdard said it is important for individuals and households to put water conservation measures in place to help mitigate the effects of the prolonged dry conditions.
A message that we have to start to talk about preparedness.
Conservation.
And I know if we are coming out of a dry spell, and I know now everybody's scrambling to buy the tanks. We cannot wait until it's announced to buy your tanks, because you'll have your lovely tanks there, but no water. So this issue of drought and dry season and dry spells brings us to the point of preparedness, right? We talk about how do we get sorted for a hurricane season, and there's a lot of emphasis. We talk about preparedness for drought. If you're not keeping up with the updates from the Met Services, looking at the trends and so on, to see that water levels are tailing off, you won't store enough water for when the drought occurs. But it's a practice that we have to get into nationally, right, where we, in our construction of homes, we need tanks. It has now become almost compulsory now that we have tanks.
Studdard further suggested that there needs to be broader discussions on water conservation projects, including businesses, communities, and other key stakeholders to ensure sustainable water management.
Use. Maybe we could consider through the guidance from the environmental health and so on, what type of water we have. We have grey water coming off. That grey water is useful. But maybe we need to treat it, or we need to do something that we could ask the environmental health for some guidance. But that grey water could be used probably to wet your plants.
Wash your
the tank water, might be able to wash with it, might be able to clean our vehicles with it. And we will use the supply from the CWSA for consumption. So that sort of thinking has to go in at the household level, at the business level, at the organizational level. And that is how we combat some of these issues. So when I'm talking about preparedness this hurricane season, I want to talk about what is happening with the rainfall. But I cannot ignore, and we cannot ignore, what is happening with the heat, and what is happening with the water situation. And keep in mind,
Studdard said NEMO has been conducting training exercises and public education and awareness programs ahead of the start of the hurricane season to help communities better prepare for potential hazards. Police investigating shooting incident in Otley Hall. This and other stories coming up on a return with the more local news. Stay with us.
Welcome to Seastar.
Welcome to the upgraded Seastar Limited,
where we offer to almost all your household items.
They've expanded their range to sofas, dining and patio sets, beds and mattresses, wardrobes, kitchen cabinets, office furniture. That's just a few from the luxurious collection. Not forgetting their signature quality windows, doors, rails and bathroom enclosures. Journey on up to Seastar, where their friendly sales clerk is happy to assist. Seastar Limited, where quality meets style.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of. One that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home.
Bowman's Pharmacy, why choose us? We have all the prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, personal care products, lowest price guaranteed. Located conveniently next to the Bank of SVG on Grenville Street. Opening hours Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Email us bowmanpharmacy@yahoo.com. Call us today at 456-2235 or 593-3918. Bowman's Pharmacy, easy to find and ready to serve you. Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
This Friday, June 5th, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $84,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly.
Welcome back to the evening news. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force is investigating a shooting incident which occurred earlier today in Otley Hall, leaving one adult male nursing gunshot wounds. A news release from the RSVG Police Force says at approximately 1:50 p.m., Terran Prince, a 40-year-old laborer of Edinburgh, was at his work site in Otley Hall when unknown male assailants approached him, opened fire, and then fled the scene. The release says the police were notified and responded to the scene, where Prince was found suffering from gunshot wounds about his body. He was transported to the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital, where he is presently receiving treatment. Members of the public who may have information that can assist with this investigation are encouraged to contact the officer in charge of Criminal Investigations Department Major Crimes Unit at 456-1810 or 457-1211. The RSVG Police Force says all information received will be treated with strict confidence. Forestry officers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Monday commenced a 2-week training program aimed at strengthening the management and reporting capacity of the Forestry Services Department. The training is being conducted under the Integrated Land Management Project, which is funded by the European Union and implemented through the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS. The program forms part of a broader initiative focused on enhancing natural ecosystem management, supporting climate change mitigation and adaptation efforts, and contributing to food security and sustainable agriculture. Addressing the opening ceremony, senior instructor at the University of Trinidad and Tobago and training facilitator Kimberly Singh said participants will engage in a range of learning activities over the 2-week period, including problem-solving exercises, group discussions, and simulation scenarios. She noted that the activities are designed to equip officers with both theoretical knowledge and practical skills needed to effectively carry out their duties.
This training that is going to take place between today and next week Friday, so 2 weeks, will entail not only looking at forest management or an introduction into forest management with regard to our tropical forests, but it's also going to entail exposing you guys to GIS, GPS, remote sensing. And that's quite important when it comes to reporting, right? And reporting accurately and precisely is significant when it comes to management of our resources. So this week we're going to concentrate on tropical forestry management. The focus, as I said, will be forest management. We're going to start off with forest ecology today. How the sessions for this week are going to run is we mostly do our theory and we kind of reinforce it with interactive activities. We've learned teaching students and training individuals is that you can stand here and talk forever and forever, but unless they apply the content that's being taught, you don't really get it to stick, right? So it's going to be interactive, participative.
Psychologist Kevin Glasgow is encouraging greater awareness of mental health, describing it as essential to overall well-being. Speaking on the Police on the Beat program on Monday night on the topic maintaining a good mental health while navigating life's challenges, Glasgow said factors such as stress, trauma, financial difficulties, and social isolation can contribute to mental health challenges.
I know for a lot of persons, finances.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of different factors that we could look at. But you see, when we think about finances and the constant stresses of life, what happens is a lot of those stressors become chronic because we allow them to build. And a lot of times we don't talk. And so that, there's an outburst. There is a point when that person becomes overwhelmed.
It becomes too much.
Right? And that in and of itself starts to affect their mental health. So you're looking at, you're not able to concentrate. You're not able to, do the things that you should be able to do because you are so saturated. It's like a sponge.
Glasgow urged individuals and families to be aware of warning signs, stressing the importance of early intervention.
Just to add, a lot of times we see persons withdrawing and they're isolating themselves. And we should always remember that we are social beings, hardwired to connect.
Right.
And when we see persons acting differently, as Mr. Bailey said, changes in behavior, changes in how they react, changes in how they think. Those are some signs that something might be wrong, right? And what we need to understand, we can't wait until it gets really bad. So when we notice changes, pay attention and be there to support, because what we want is persons to be able to navigate life and the struggles the best way they could, because life is always lifing, as my friend would say.
Barbados moves towards offshore oil and gas exploration. This from the region. On return, stay with us.
The Ever-Ready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Ever-Ready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Ever-Ready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Ever-Ready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at Q-Care Pharmacy. Q-Care leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. Q-Care Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
Beautiful white and black sand beaches, lush mountains and valleys, rivers, hidden waterfalls, and multiple islands and islets. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a friendly people, welcoming tourists from all over the world with exotic boutique and luxury hotels and a hospitable business environment. Let's make all tourists welcome at our international airport, on cruises, on yachts, on sailboats, on land and sea tours, at beach lines, at our restaurants, shops and bars, and at our national festivals. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Welcome back in News Now on the regional scene. For the second time in the country's history, Trinidad and Tobago will have a seat at the United Nations Security Council. Today at the UN headquarters in New York, Trinidad and Tobago was elected as a non-permanent member for the 2027 to 2028 term. This country ran unopposed for the single seat allocated to the Latin America and Caribbean group. TNT received 181 votes. Only 122 were needed for the required two-thirds majority. Commenting immediately after the electoral victory, Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Jean Sobers, in the statement, accredited Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Wissesa's leadership and diplomatic engagement for the successful bid, noting that the campaign was launched during her participation at the United Nations General Assembly in New York in September of 2025.
We accept this mantle of responsibility with humility and pride. We wish to express our profound gratitude for the friendship, partnership, and solidarity shown to Trinidad and Tobago during our campaign. We congratulate all candidates on a well-executed and impactful campaign and sincerely look forward to working with you on the Security Council. Since independence 64 years ago, Trinidad and Tobago has upheld the rule of law, championed human rights, strengthened international law, and never been silent in the face of injustice. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to the UN Charter, international law, and the rule of law. Our campaign, Building Consensus for the Realization of Sustainable Peace and Security, will guide our engagement on the Council as we pledge to foster dialogue and bridge differences amidst the multiplicity of complex challenges confronting the international community.
That's the news from the region. The international news features coming up next. Stay with us.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$260,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Friday, June 5th. It's $260,000.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Since 2012, we have provided reliable, professional dialysis services in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are now proud to offer you new solutions for your health problems. Each new solution is being delivered to you with the same high degree of care and professionalism. We also use the best technology in the delivery of our services. So, does your doctor need a precise view of what's happening inside your body? Let us perform an ultrasound for you. Ladies, if it's your breasts, then choose our mammography service. For all issues related to men and women's health at any stage in your life, our team can perform the necessary investigations to put your mind at ease and recommend solutions for your problems. If it's to see within your chest or check for broken bones and fractures, then use our state-of-the-art U-Arm X-ray service. For you aging men and women, we can now check your bone density, which will reduce any complications that may arise with overall bone health, osteoporosis, or arthritis. Health Solutions will provide answers and results in a timely, accurate manner in the most comfortable environment, while you are taken care of by well-trained and experienced staff. Please call us today at 451-2836 or 434-3170, or visit us online at healthsolutionsSVG.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Health Solutions, where we are providing solutions in SVG with care.
Singer is your family store. We sell everything you need for your kitchen and more. Top brands and appliances. TVs, fridges, cookers. We make your life so easy. Just come in and see us. A wide range of furniture. Right here at Singer. Affordable beds and mattresses. Right here at Singer. Washing machines to make your laundry clean and fresh. Singer is a family store that gives you the best hire purchase deals. Right here at Singer. We'll outfit your home. Right here at Singer. The #1 family store. It's us with Singer.
Welcome back. In news now on the international scene, xenophobic tensions are rising in South Africa as anti-migrant groups pressure the government to expel undocumented foreigners. using a deadline of the 30th of June for those without valid visas to leave. Hundreds of Ghanaian nationals have already departed voluntarily amid safety fears, with nearly 300 leaving last month alone. Critics warn that recurring waves of xenophobic violence are being inflamed ahead of local government elections due in November, and are calling on scrutiny of the groups and political parties alleged funding the unrest.
Another protest in South Africa, they happen often. This one is about service delivery. People in this community want things like houses and jobs. It's your typical scene. You have the police on one side, and some of the protesters are on the road, blocking the road with things like rocks, bricks, anything they can find. Some South Africans blame corruption, crime and unemployment on undocumented foreigners. This is the second group of Ghanaian nationals returning home because of safety concerns. Protest leaders have issued a deadline for all migrants without valid visas to leave the country by June the 30th.
One guy came to me around 6 in the evening that, hey, my brother, you are my man. You need to be very careful because on 30th is going to be tough. So I said, okay, no problem. We are here. We are all Africans. We are here. We need to work. So I did not take it serious. So unfortunately, another one came the next day in the evening, the same time, and then he spoke to me. I said, no, then let me see what I will do.
Last month, nearly 300 Ghanaians voluntarily left the country.
So this thing, I think the South African government, Ramaphosa government, need to take serious action about this thing because it's spoiling the name of South Africa.
Anti-migrant groups want the government to tighten border security. South Africa experiences recurring waves of xenophobic violence, sometimes just before electoral cycles. Local government elections are due to take place in November.
That's the news. Sports is just ahead, but before that, let's take a look at the local weather forecast.
The weather report sponsored by General Hardware.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentions for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
And now for a look at the local weather forecast. Present conditions, fair and slightly hazy. Winds northeast at 11 kilometers per hour. Temperature 27.6 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 80%. Barometric pressure 1015.3 millibars. 24-hour rainfall 2.6 millimeters. Today's maximum temperature 30 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature 22.2 degrees Celsius. Sunset today at 6:29 p.m. Sunrise at 5:37 a.m. Forecast: occasionally cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy at times with a few isolated showers. Synopsis: weak and stable conditions are across the islands.
The weather report was sponsored by General Hardware.
This Friday, June 5th, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $84,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $84,000. This Friday, June 5th. You have to be in it to win it.
Good evening and welcome to the Evening Sports. We hear that St. Vincent and the Grenadines Cycling Union today joined the Union Cycliste Internationale, the Pan American Cycling Confederation, and the 205 national cycling federations around the world in celebrating Bicycle Day 2026. In a message on social media, the SVG Cycling Union said, "World Bicycle Day reminds us that the bicycle is more than a mode of transportation or recreation. It is a tool for health, sustainability, inclusion, and community development." The union noted that as they continue their efforts to promote cycling and advocate for safer roads throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they are encouraging all road users to play their part, whether you are a cyclist, motorist, pedestrian, or public transport operator. Remember that road safety is a shared responsibility. Over in netball now, the prime consultant 3J's Valley Strikers defeated On Track Exceed Sports Club Team 2, 47 goals to 33 in Division 2 of the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Netball Championships at the New Montrose Netball Center in Kingstown yesterday. In the other match yesterday in the men's division, Marker Crushers won from H&H Oral Advent 67 goals to 31. Another 2 games are on the cards for this evening, also at the Kingstown Netball Center. In cricket, the quarterfinalists are now set in the 2026 SVG Inter-Primary Schools Developmental Cricket Competition. On the final day of preliminary matches, South Rivers Methodist defeated Sandy Bay Government by 85 runs in Zone 1 play. Also in Zone 1, Oya Government won from Toroma Government by 55 runs. And over in Zone 2, Pamela's-Burg Government took down Bible Methodist by 22 runs. In Zone 3, Dorsetshire Hill Government had the better of the Belair Government by 102 runs. Also in Zone 3, Belmont Government had a massive 108-run win over Gummy Government. And in Zone 4 at the Bookament Bay Playing Fields, Canouan Government defeated Fairhall Government by 76 runs. Georgetown Government won by default from Calder Government, while Clare Valley Government did not show up for their match against Fitzhugh Government. The quarterfinal fixtures will bowl off on Friday, June 5th, with games at the Stubbs Playing Field as well as the Sandhill Playing Field. The 2026 NBA finalists are set with a rematch of the 1999 edition featuring San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks, with Game 1 slated to bounce off tonight at 8:30 p.m. in San Antonio. Both major prediction markets in Kalshi and Polymarkets are leaning towards San Antonio Spurs to win the series with 63% and 65% respectively. San Antonio Spurs are the favorites on both Kalshi and Polymarkets with similar percentages. That's how we end sports this evening. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
This Friday, June 5th, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $84,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $84,000. This Friday, June 5th, you have to be in it to win it.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They're doing general hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Welcome Welcome back. Now for a second look at the headlines. Prime Minister Friday calls for greater development, financing and climate resilience support at opening of CDB's 56th annual meeting. Trinidad and Tobago wins UN Security Council seat with overwhelming support. South Africa faces unrest as residents demand jobs and migrants feel unsafe. And in sports, SVG Cycling Union celebrates World Bicycle Day 2026. And for a recap of the local weather forecast, occasionally cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy at times with a few isolated showers. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I'm Priska Campbell, inviting you to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news as well as daily headlines. Also, check out SVG-TV's News in 15 weekdays at 12:45 p.m. Again, thanks for viewing. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
SVG's Heart and Soul. Magic 103.7, 91.5. Today's music, yesterday's hits.
24 karat magic in the